Now we'll be talking with Spicy Murray, a relationship expert many of you probably know from the Netflix series Sneaky Links, Dating After Dark. Welcome, Murray. Thank you so much for joining our show.
Of course. Thank you for having me, ladies.
We're so excited to talk to you. We have so many questions.
I'm not sure even where to start.
Okay, start with
Sneaky Link.
Yeah, tell us what Sneaky Link is.
So Sneaky Links is a show that I'm doing right now. It's streaming on Netflix in every country right now, in every language. But it's a really super fun show. We've got single men and women together who are essentially in situationships, and Sneaky Link is a relationship that is not official or committed that nobody knows about. So you're literally sneaking this person into your life, into your bed, and not claiming them publicly. So I'm a relationship expert on the show, coaching them to commitment.
This is amazing.
This is such a thing. I didn't know there was a name for
I didn't know that it was called Sneaky Link. So Sneaky Link isn't actually a situationship. Can you explain the difference between a situationship and a sneaky link?
Yeah. So a sneaky link is a little bit less intimate in the sense of this person has never met your family. They've never met your friends. You're probably not taking them out with you and actually introducing them to anyone. It's a late night booty call for when you feel like hooking up, where a situationship is someone who is a lot more intimate. They don't want to commit either, but they're pretending or giving you the illusion of a relationship. So they may be, you might be at their birthday dinner. You may be traveling with them, but they are refusing to commit, right? You know their mom, but they are refusing to be in a relationship with you. That's a situationship where there's like high intimacy involved, but not the commitment. A sneaky link more than likely hasn't met your mom.
I thought that situationship was what you're describing as sneaky.
That's what I thought.
So this whole entire time, I'm so confused about dating.
So I thought a situationship was this, and then I guess that makes sense though. And then all these dirty dogs.
So they're all sneaky.
You can use them. They're synonyms, right? Like there's all these new labels that we can put on relationships for people who aren't willing to be responsible and commit. And so a sneaky link is very similar to a situationship. Like we can use them as synonyms, but majority of the time for a situationship, you feel like you're their girlfriend and you're wrapped into it. And a sneaky link, there can be high emotions involved as well when you start sleeping with someone, but you're less likely to be out there publicly showcased.
This is fascinating.
This is fascinating.
There are people going around showing this person to like their family, but not committing. Like, what a D. I hate this guy. I feel like, so, I mean, maybe I've been off the scene for a minute, but I feel like, when I was dating, which wasn't that long ago, but 10 years, a decade.
That's a decade.
A decade.
A lot's changed.
Yeah, I guess a lot has changed because when you met somebody's family, that was a big deal.
Yes.
You meet my family, you were all in, buddy, right? We could maybe even be committed and you haven't met my family yet.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I started dating, I met my husband 27 years ago. We're getting divorced now. So now I'm out in the jungle. But back then, if you met somebody's family, it was a big deal.
Yeah. And I guess it's not anymore.
We have a couple on the show, right? On Sneaky Links, Dating After Dark, Manny and Samira. And they have been dating for over 10 years. Every time they get into another relationship or they break up with someone, they wind up hooking back up. And so it's an off and on hookup situation, but they know each other's families, but they're always there in the background whenever the person moves on or breaks up. And so we brought them together on the show, not knowing that they were going to be on a reality show together and work through their issues and why they're not committing and come to the realization they have to call it off. They can't keep going 10 more years being each other's sneaky links. But there's situations like that where they do, it's pretty
10
intimate.
years and they're still sneaky link? They can't just be together?
This is mind-blowing. So I have a question. How often does a sneaky link turn into a real relationship? And are they doomed? Is all this sneaky behavior a sign that it's just not going to work?
The doom is more common than the success rate, right? So, but that doesn't mean that you can't be the exception to the rule. There's a lot of situations where we have flipped and we have made a sneaky link a partner, but it's oftentimes harder to go backwards after you've already started hooking up with someone and it's just a sexually intimate relationship, to then try to go back and say, okay, let's find out what your core values are. Let's learn more about one another and see if we're compatible. It's a lot later. It's a lot harder to test later for the compatibility after you've already been hooking up with someone.
So these people are just hooking up, but they're not texting all day, and they're not, or are they still texting all day and getting to know each other, talking on the phone, or are they just hooking up?
They're still essentially strangers. So
they know nothing about each other, but
they invested to find out the deeper layers of your personality. There's so much more to still explore because you're not invested in the relationship, because you don't actually want to commit to this person and it's just been hookup. So you aren't, finding out their dreams and their failures, and you're not going down that like emotional intimacy journey with them as much. And that's what the show is about. We like pushing them to go there to learn more about each other so that we can see, is there compatibility? Can we flip? Can we make this person, our committed, forever partner? Or is it just a hookup situation and we need to let it go? Like, is that person holding you back from finding the one?
So for all the single ladies out there, right? So you meet a guy, right? And you want a forever person. I'm not talking about the single girl that's just like out having fun. I'm talking about the girl that like wants to get married, right? Should she not give it up because out of fear of ending up in one of these sneaky links? Like, do you hold, like, how long do you like wait? Do you wait for commitment before you have sex? Like, will a guy deal with that these days? I mean, I feel so clueless. Like, what's the deal?
This is a great question. Women need to be very clear what season of their life they're in, right? And I've had all the seasons. I've gone through my, freedom, liberty, hoe phase, as we call it. My sexual exploration. Like, if you're in that phase and you just want to have a good time, then by all means, use protection, enjoy yourself. But if you are in your, I am ready to be a wife, start a family within the next couple of years, settle down, start taking on real responsibilities, then you do need to behave as someone who is preparing for wife. And so what I usually do with my clients is a 90-day program where I make them date, but no sex until we get the commitment.
I like this.
That's for somebody that wants to get married and have a family.
Yes. If you're coming to me, it's because you are trying to learn more about yourself and also learn how to master men. So it's the self-discovery plus the mastery of relationships. And so I make sure that you don't have a sneaky link while we're working together, because if you do have a sneaky link or a situationship, that means that someone is exchanging energy with you.
Exchanging their energy. And they're because you take on somebody's energy when you're intimate with them.
They're sucking your joy. They are sucking your ability to trust, because if you're not in a committed relationship, how can you trust this person?
So then you present this to the person where you will date them for 90 days, but you won't be intimate with them until after the 90 days.
You won't be intimate with them sexually until after we have a commitment. After they're like, yes, I want to be with you. I want to be responsible for how I make you feel, how I represent you in the world. We're in a committed relationship. You are my boyfriend. I am your girlfriend. I have the intention of growing with you. Then we can sleep together.
I love this. This is old school. It's so
this
smart.
Is easier said than done. For modern daters.
It's like whatever happened to old fashioned is crossing your legs.
But what happens if you're in this, if you commit to the person? So the guy said, yes, I'll wait the 90 days. Sorry, I'm going to commit to you. And then he decides, oh no, I just did that because I wanted to sleep with you. Does that happen?
So this is a great question, right? Because we think, or we're afraid that like, well, he's just gonna, wait to the 90 days. Well, he committed. So now you have actually proven that you can have someone earn your time and invest in you and commit to you to a point where you don't need to have sexual intimacy before you establish emotional intimacy, before you learn about financial intimacy with them, before you actually get the courtship. So it's more about you, less about them. If he breaks up with you because he was just trying to get in your pants, well, guess what? You still got a 90-day experience with someone who committed. And so you now have proven to yourself that you are worth commitment. I don't care if he lied and that was his, wrong intentions. I'm going to call it out because you get to play good cop and I get to play bad cop in the coaching process. But if you guys should decide that you aren't each other's purpose mates running off into the sunset, then by all means, at least you were treated the way that you should have been treated versus what majority of us do, sign up for the mistreatment, later on trying to go back and beg for them to treat us correctly. I'm trying to send you on a trajectory of this is now the standard.
Do you think that a lot of women are scared to be honest about what they actually want because it's going to scare the potential partner away?
Absolutely. One of the hardest questions or conversations, let's just say one of the hardest conversations that women want to avoid and even skate around is the what are we?
Yeah,
right?
Because it's scary. It's a lot.
Yeah. And so you may have been seeing someone, maybe you've even met his mom, maybe he's introduced you to his best friend, you're getting the invite to the birthday or, you're doing game night, with, all his friends and you feel like this is pretty serious. But I'm a huge proponent of you need to have the conversation. You need to know where you guys stand. And I don't even believe in exclusivity. I only believe in commitment. Exclusivity is I'm going to see you, but I'm also going to see other people, but I'm just not going to sleep with anybody else. Commitment is I'm not going to see anybody else, sleep with anybody else. I only want to be in a relationship with you.
Yes, because don't go sleep with me and then go take some other girl to dinner.
But that happens.
It happens all the time. And it's so messed up. It's really
all the time.
It's so disrespectful. If a woman thinks that they are committed to, right? And then the guy's like, oh, well, I didn't have sex with her. Well, that doesn't matter. You still went to dinner with her and you still had this in-depth conversation with her.
That's true.
Yeah, so, you're essentially still interviewing, right? You're still interviewing for the position, which means you don't have it. It hasn't been given to you yet. And that's why you have to have the conversation because we would never just show up to a job every single day without knowing that they're committed to us and we're committed to them. We would get that either in writing, we would make it official. But when it comes to dating, it's oh, I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to make it official. And then it's you have this belief in your mind and they're thinking something completely different. You guys have to be aligned.
So what happens if the person is constantly texting you, but you have slept with them, but it's long distance? So you met on vacation type of thing. And then they're constantly texting you and wanting to see you, but you have been intimate. What is that considered? Just talking to somebody?
You guys are dating. If there is not a conversation,
but what if you've never been on a date? What if you've only had sex?
You just said that you traveled, right? You traveled to see them?
No, you met the person while you were on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, you met them. They didn't take you on a vacation.
You met them on vacation. So you met them and then you continued to see them. So let's say you've seen the person 5 times, but it's long distance.
You've seen them in person 5 times.
You've seen them in person 5 times. You've been intimate with them twice. And you hear from them pretty much every day.
But they've never taken you on a date? Did they fly you out those 5 times?
No, you're in vacation. So you've rented a house somewhere else, and then you're on vacation. You were there. So no, you haven't. You just came home, basically. You've seen them 5 times while you were there. So the person keeps coming back to the same location to see you.
So you're spending quality time, or what is in your mind quality and intimate time with someone on vacation.
But you haven't been wined and dined.
Not really, because it's because other people have been around. So it's you're there with your friends, they're there with their friends, and you keep meeting up that way.
Yeah, you guys are just seeing each other.
Right, that's just seeing something. Okay. See, I'm just confused by what's the situationship, what's considered dating. Now I know sneaky links, which we didn't even know what that was.
You can visit someone 10 times. That doesn't matter. If this person hasn't courted you and committed to you, you guys are not in a relationship. If this person has not professed where you guys stand.
Well, not yet. I mean,
is this the one you're seeing? Is this you?
So this is what happened. So I And look, my ex left me last summer. He just left me after 27 years. And I started seeing somebody 2 weeks later. And that person was younger than me. And that was like a disaster because he was an alcoholic and we were just so different, but just fine. I mean, it went on for off and on for 5 months. And then I ended it and walked away and blocked him.
That was your rebound.
Then I met somebody else during that time, but we weren't really intimate, but we spent morning and night on the phone, and that was long distance. And he ended up dating somebody else because it wasn't right, which is fine.
Emotionally intimate, though.
Emotionally, but I mean, we're still friends. But then from there, I met some other people. So I've dated a lot this past year. Okay. But then I decided this summer, I'm going to find myself again. I'm going back to the person that I was before. I went all through Europe this summer. I didn't date anybody while I was in Europe. Every guy that I met, I just kind of stayed away from because I really wanted this eat, pray, love. So, well, not really love, but eat, pray,
and not really eating.
Yeah, and I really wasn't eating, but whatever. I was just having fun.
So, shop, pray, love-ish.
So then I finally get to...
I'm staying away from love.
Yeah, so I stayed away from it purposely all summer. So then I had, in advance, rented a house in the Hamptons. And so I got there. I was supposed to get there at the beginning of August, but I didn't go then. I waited because I stayed in Europe for an extra week. Then I came back to Miami for a week. So now I'm only in this house for 2 weeks. So I ended up going to the Hamptons. A friend flew in. So I was really going there by myself. So another vacation alone. My friend flew in. So the first night we went out, I met someone. I just, he was looking at me from across the bar. He says I was looking at him. Comes over, we exchange numbers, and we start talking. So we start kind of seeing each other. He asked me to do a million things up there. I kept saying no. But then he was back and forth from his house going back because he has a house there as well. So he was going back and forth. So he would leave and then come back. So leave for 5 days, then come back. So I saw him 5 times. Now I'm back in Miami. He's back in his house. And I'm actually going to New York this weekend, unrelated. I already had the trip planned. It's for something else. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure I will see him this weekend. However, he calls and texts nonstop. It's a lot, a lot. It's a lot of communication.
So he communicating with you?
A lot. But I mean, I didn't even look at this oh, I want to date this person because I have no idea. I don't feel like I know him that well to even decide on something like that.
Have you guys had a meal together yet?
No, not really, because it was meeting out.
Have we had an appetizer? At my house.
Yes.
We ate something. It was not dinner.
So we can't. So yes and no, because it's not really. We weren't sitting down at dinner because the second weekend that he came back, he was with his 13-year-old son. So he was with his son that weekend, and I was with a friend, and then he kept wanting to try to meet us out. And then the day he asked me to come meet him, I wasn't available. So it was back and forth. It's not serious at all.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
But
so what is it? What is dear Sandra in right now? If we had to label this, what would we label?
If she didn't put it on the podcast, you guys would be sneaky links. But now it's public, so.
So you were a sneaky link.
So it was a sneaky link, even though we met each other's friends?
Link. Oh my God.
Honestly, you guys are just enjoying each other. You guys are seeing one another. As long as you're not getting emotionally attached to someone who hasn't done anything within the courtship process to really demonstrate that he is interested in growing something with you. This is very casual. What you guys are doing
fine. I'm fine with that.
So hypothetically speaking, though, say Sandra wanted to take this to the next level. What would her step be to get out of her sneaky link and into a more established courtship?
It would start with, doing activities. So it wouldn't look like you
non-naked activities, clothed activities.
You would actually get some tickets and let's go to a game together. There's
remember it's long distance.
There's a food festival going on. If it's long distance, then it's nothing. So you guys need to actually spend time together. But if you want to establish that it's more than just a hookup, you guys are going to have to spend actual time together doing activities so that it feels more invigorating, so that it's dates, so that you guys can establish more than just, your regular hooking up in the bed. We have to get you guys out of the bedroom. So,
Well, but what?
I mean, that's not even that regular.
No, it wasn't even. It wasn't like that. I mean, it's just the way that it all happened. But I mean, it's not like he didn't invite me to do things. It's just that the first weekend, I wasn't really into it. So I was kind of like, no. He invited me to do like 5 different things, and I kept saying no. And then the following weekend, when he had his son with him, then we started talking more, and I was like, well, maybe I would consider. That's how it all started.
So whose court is the ball in right now?
You said what?
Whose court is the ball in right now? Is it in Sandra's court or New York's court?
We have to establish whether you guys are on the same page, whether he is emotionally available to give you more.
Which I don't think he is, because we're both going through divorces.
He's not emotionally available to give you more.
Well, I don't think so, because we're both going through divorces. He had dated somebody much younger than him that he said he was in love with. They broke up in May. It was a really bad breakup. So probably not, but I don't know. I wasn't even looking at this like anything serious anyhow.
We're just using this as
a sneaky link.
It's a sneaky link. You're in a sneaky link. I'm really here for this. Look at you.
You love this.
After all these years of like dealing with nonsense, now you're a sneaky link.
Because it
And it's
doesn't
on
sound
you.
like you're
You're the one that rejected the plans. He
It
tried
doesn't
to
sound like
make
you're
plans.
craving like
Well, no, but with
investment.
other people. What's that?
It doesn't sound like you're craving anything though. I don't hear you saying like, "Oh my god."
No, because it's long distance. I don't know. I mean, it's so new that I really don't know.
Yeah, both of you guys are ending very like serious, heavy relationships, right?
Yes.
That you may have thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with this person. So both of you guys are having somewhat of a paradigm shift, adjusting your realities, understanding who you are now without that previous person. You know, your worlds have been rocked. And so you going back to like, let me just rediscover who I am, maybe not going back to who I used to be, but I like to think of it as, okay, who is my future self? Who is the new me? How am I doing a personal rebrand, right? Focusing on self is the most important thing. If he shows up in a stronger pursuit of you, then you can start to consider it. But in the meantime, you guys sound like you just want to have fun, that it doesn't really put too much pressure on it.
Yes, that's how I feel.
So that being said, take it back to 20-year-old you. What piece of dating advice would you give yourself?
Do everything that you were doing. 20-year-old me got me to current, like, happily married me.
I love that.
Here's the thing about 20-year-old me, though. I had to go through those growing pains to get to where I'm at, but I'm one of the fortunate people that had several wake-up calls that shook me to my core, that got my ish together, right?
Yes,
I went and got my ish together. A lot of people aren't that fortunate. Some of those hardships, some of those breakups actually destroy them. And so getting them back to a place of healing, getting them back to a place of, self-love is a lot more work, and they don't always get there. Sometimes they never rediscover who they are after a breakup or who they, want to become. And they don't actually do the healing to be able to attract their purpose mate. So I'm grateful that I'm one of the people that was like, I'm studying this. Let me apply my tools. Let me actually get my life together, because 20-year-old me was having a wild time. And I'm still having fun, just now helping others for the season of marriage.
I love it.
I love that.
So how can our viewers get in touch with you?
They can watch me on Netflix, Sneaky Links. They can go to thespicylife.com. I have a podcast, The Spicy Life, where I'm giving relationship advice.
Okay, great.
They can sign up for a consultation on thespicylife.com, and I can help them in becoming more magnetic to attract their purpose mate.
Yes.
They can go to Spicy Madi on social everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. And but definitely watch Sneaky Links on Netflix.
Okay. This is great. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
It was so much
Get your
fun.
groove
Thank
back. And then when you're ready to get like husband number 2, I'm here for you.
That's amazing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use
Yes, you should.
You need her. Follow me on Instagram at Sandra Silverman for behind the scenes, real talk, and beauty tips that actually work. Don't go anywhere.